Hello everybody, today I want to show you my new build I'm working on. It is Storm Vampire Witch. I know it sounds great. It is hard to get because early levels are very difficult, but after some mid-game you will have the power to melt enemies. And as you've seen at the beginning of the clip where I finishing the boss, there is pretty good damage output, and additionally you have a just great amount of HP, of life, because I know 1300 is not too much, but with special skill of Blood Witch you can double that in almost every time, because the special skill of the Blood Witch is Life Remnants. They It spawn orbs when enemy is killed or critically hit that give you 300 life each. It amount given by the orb depend on your level. So higher level, more life. And with these orbs you can double your amount of life. And that's great because this game still, like previous Patch of Exile, is heavy hitting. You can get one hit from out of the screen. You don't even need to see what is out there and you still can get killed. So let's go through the basic of character. 1300 life, 960 energy shield. I know it's not too much, but double amount of life will work. You will see. Next, mana. Mana and intelligence are the main reasons that you can kill bosses with electrical skills. Because basically in this game, electric skills are just garbage. They take a lot of cast time, and the damage are not good enough for killing bosses. For clearing, maybe. So you need to go with sparks through the firewall or different strange approaches and a lot of difficult combinations of the skills. So mana tempest and everything. As you can see on my video of clearing map, I not use any mana tempest. So not even once. I don't need it, I still can kill bosses with this build. So 100 spirit give us another buff for the damage. I think every mage that use electricity use archmage. So it gives you a 5% of damage as extra lightning for every 100 mana. So I have 50% now. And that's a big buff to your damage. So once again, evasion is just that skill for me. That passive skill, because still you can dodge. If you can dodge, you can go away, run away from the enemies. You can avoid any attacks, almost any attacks, especially if there is boss or single target. So this is first thing. The second thing, armor is much better even for mage. I know it require 80, 90, depends on your equipment, points of strength, but I can tell you that it is fair. It is very fair because still it mitigates 30% of damage that you get when you're hit. So that saves life. Evasion, you could not get hit, but now when the maps have only one approach, so you can die only once, it is better to not get hit or get hit less than monster going through your evasion. Evasion is just garbage here. So, as you can see, resistance are capped. Except the chaos, I still searching for the good equipment for that. Second part about my equipment. So, as previous on the Fire Popcorn Monk, here is a wand that give you free to all lightning spells. Uh, Amulet giving 1 to all spells and 2 level of all spells in focus. And that totally give me, as you can see here, where is my arc, sorry. It give me 24 level from 17 level game. And additional advice, you can make 4 link for support spots on your skill just using Valorb, because those mid Javeler orbs are pretty expensive. Val orbs are cheaper, so you just get the skill that you want few times. On each of them you use laser Javeler orb, and after that you use Val orb. It chance is 1 to 6, 1 to 7 maybe, and so in 10 tries you will most probably get additional socket for support. That's the good cheat. It is easier to go with that. So here you have in my mind skill, and I'm only using this one. As you can see, there is no cast on shock. I have those skills here, but I not use them even once on my map clearance approach. So in Arc there is Arcane Tempo because this skill is slow. Cast time is more than a second. It just killing the fun of playing that. If you can hit only once per second, and additionally the damage is 100 to 800. So that's disturbing, just disturbing. Another one, Lightning Mastery. It's always good to have spell 1 level higher. Super critical, that's a good one. It gives you 100 more critical damage with the cost of 20% less critical chance, but it's not total chance lowered by 20%, only so you will lose only one node from the tree, maybe two. That gives you additional chance. That a good cost, it's not too much. And the third thing is inspiration. It will less your cost of casting this spell, because it is very it has very high price. As you can see, now it is 130 mana, 92 life, and without it, 150 life and 200 mana. You could kill yourself just casting that as a Blood Witch, because each cast of your skill has a cost of life additionally to mana. That's something from Ascendancy, and you need to live with that, because as the second, and you can live with that, as the second part is from Ascendancy, is 10% of spell damage leached as life, and 12% increased amount leached. So with output from Arc, clearing map give you sustainable amount of life leached at every second, additionally to these orbs. So you have double amount of life, and if it is something less, you can leech your life from your spells. That's the great one. You can go as a Terminator through everything on the map. The one problem is if enemies have a lot of chaos damage, or you just run face head on to your enemies between the big group, and every enemy will hit you. That could kill you, but except that you are just almost immortal, like every other vampire on the lore of vampires. So, mana drain, as this is pretty heavy on your mana, this skill, You need this just for killing bosses. Sometimes it will save your life. Additionally, 2 mana. Total mana recovery per second is 100, so you can even with no potion, you can cast one every 1.5 second another arc. That's pretty good. You will not need this for most of maps because clearing is good enough. And you will not need to spam constantly this arc. Just 3-4 times and just run to another group, another pack. Next thing. So with equipment, I said that everything is focused on additional spell skill levels, but the second focus on your equipment needs to be armor, because without armor you will just die every hit, even on maps for your level. This is just like on other movies. On YouTube you can hear that Patch of Exile 2 is ruthless, and it is. You will just die like in Souls games. Armor is required to survive any decent damage. So, we covered two basic parts of this build. Let's go now through passive skill tree. That's a good one. So, as you don't use any minions, except maybe you could use minions to level up, because like I said, on lower level you don't do any decent damage, and if you want to use only one skill, you are lazy, you want to kill everything by right button click on your mouse, you need minions at till I think 30-40 level that you have. Everything earlier is depending on your minions. So as you can see, intelligence, strength. You need to have at the end game, at the level 70, so the early end game, you need about 80 or 90 strength to use good armors, just like that, with good armor amount. So then, next thing is here. It is 10 to intelligence and spell damage. Cast speed is required. It's something you must have to survive and to kill. So from start, just go here to the cast speed. Then lightning penetration. It is important because mobs are resistant to lightning often. Next is spell damage here. I know it is 5% reduced cast speed, but you cover it with this one. And then criticals. Here is a group of nodes with critical hit chance. When you get this, go straight up to lightning, because here is pure power, 2% increase lightning damage per 10 intelligence. That's why you stacking intelligence, and every other point is just to use equipment. If I will have better gloves on my character, or will find better gloves, I could take, I think, 30 points of dexterity and put it to intelligence. It will give me few hundred damage more. So here you don't need to another damage lightning resistance penetration, and you don't need any shock duration, because you are not depending on shocking effect. You will just kill everything with your critical hits. So here is another node that you need to get just after this is your bonus intelligence. This group here give you a great amount of damage when you get them. And then go here. Increase maximum mana. Yes, I know increase mana cost of skills, but it's not too bad. Those 20% of maximum mana will give you damage, because here per 100 mana you have 3% increase spell damage. And that's third boost. First is from your skill. So per 100 mana is 5% as lightning damage. Here you have an next 3% per of light of damage per 100 mana, so it is 8 totally, and after that you have 2 per 10 intelligence. So you could achieve early 10,000 DPS just like that, just with this only skill. No need for combo, no need for anything, just go and smite them. After you get here and and level up more, and next point you can give here, so increasing your critical chance and some survivability, so energy shield. Now here is mana regeneration rate, and you can take it depending on your equipment. So after you have these criticals, again focus on lightning damage and cast speed, and here you have something great, so additional chain, because arc has this ability 10% more damage for each remaining chain. So first hit is most powerful. And I now here have basically 5-time chain. So 50% damage more on first hit. So when you get those nodes, go here, increase cast speed, regeneration rate and intelligence, and after that here. Here is another node for critical hit chance. With all of those nodes you will have damage, and again you will have 240 damage bonus, 240%, and 21% chance for critical hit. So each one of 5 hits it is critical with almost 3 times the damage. I've seen just sick amount of damage on some bosses that will have the maximum damage that they can. Okay, so if we cover that, after this I suggest you to go here, and this is another energy shield. So 1000 energy shield is good beginning, but like I said, my equipment is focused on armor, not energy shield, because a life is good enough, leech from spells is good enough, so shield is as the additional layer to not get one hit from outside of the screen. After that I want to focus more on and it is here, damage penetration, because at the end game the monsters have bigger amount of resistance to lightning, and I approach few enemies, few gold enemies that have this resistance capped or even overcapped, maybe 80%, I don't know. It was difficult fight, but as you can see on this clip that I add, it is pretty easy, just a long one. And now with all what is on the tree, you can see, give me a second, where it is this stat? Oh, here, 27% of resistance penetration. Now for this point, so for level 74, I not need to use any kind of curse to increase this. It is good enough without it. Maybe later, maybe on some bosses I will, but not for now. Especially that curses that lower resistance have a high impact on your mana, so in this build on your mana and your life, so you could harm yourself with those. Next step and next ascendancy, I plan to go here. So this will give me additional, at that point, 40% of damage, critical damage. So it will be over 300 when I will go here. And at the end, of everything, when I will unlock the last points, because you could have at the end of the game 8 points of ascendancy of you, or you will have after early access this one. I want this one because this is the base critical hit chance for spells. So as you can see, here I have 9% and I go to 15 with that. So from 20 to 23% to achieve critical strike, I will have about 40. So almost second hit will be critical with great amount of damage. But that will be here in the future. Still have two not used jowl socket. I want to find, and you need to find jowls with percentage of mana recovered after kill. It will greatly ease your clearing speed. And here I have one jewel that increases skill effect duration and critical damage bonus and damage overall. Great, so I think we covered everything from passive skill tree now. Now, as you can see, here is the dexterity point that I said I could change after getting better gloves, because now they are great. Some armor, resistance that I need, maximum life, and I think after next 2 or 3 maps when I will be 78, so maybe 5 maps, 78, I will change them. Yeah, and as you can see, clear and survivability with this build is great, and I have 51 level gloves, 59 level boots, 52 level helmet, so 55 level shield, and even 46 level wand. Everything in my equipment will be changed, so this build will be 40, I think around 40% tougher and stronger. Still, it will get even better. Okay, so after what I said, I think this is all. If you will have any question, if you will want me to try any strange build that you don't want to play because you don't know if it will be good enough, if anything could be done with this configuration of ascendancy or skill, I don't know. Maybe sorcerer for mace skill, like totem. Maybe you want to check if ranger could go with cold damage spells. I can do it. Just put your comment with proposition what build you want to see next. Thank you all and enjoy the clip from clearing maps and this build if you try to use it. Bye.